is Allison Palm, and I'm a teaching artist for Artists Creating Together. This spring, I taught visual arts at South Godwin Elementary as part of ACT's Early Childhood Art Exploration Program. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make a piece of art using materials that you can find around your house and in your own backyard. Today we're going to be making nature trees. So to get started, let's walk through all of the different materials that we're going to need. First, we're going to need leaves and flowers and grass or whatever you can find in your own backyard. I went outside and I found leaves of different shapes and textures and sizes, and they all have a different feel to them. If you don't have any flowers or leaves in your backyard, you could also use construction paper and scissors and cut out your own leaves and flowers. Next, we're going to need something to stick all of these natural materials to the tops of our tree trunks. So I'm going to use Mod Podge and a paintbrush. And if you don't have Mod Podge, that is totally okay. You can use whatever glue that you have in your house. Maybe you have this kind of glue. Or you can use tape. We're also going to need something to draw our tree trunks. I'm going to be using just a brown marker, but you can use colored pencils or crayons or paint, whatever you'd like to use to draw your trunk. And that's all you need. So let's get started. First things first, you need to grab a grown-up and go outside and collect all of your natural materials. Just grab whatever catches your eye. Then we need to draw our tree trunk. I already outlined mine with a pencil, and I'm just gonna outline it again with my brown marker. And you can draw your tree trunk to look however you want it to. There really is no wrong way to do it. There we go. And now I'm going to shade it in just a little bit. And I can always come back at the end and add some more color if I want. All right, I think that looks pretty good for now. It doesn't have to be perfect, keeping it simple today. And now we're going to take, if you're using Mod Podge or regular glue, you can use a paintbrush to spread it around the top. If you don't have a paintbrush, you could also use your fingers or a sponge, whatever you'd like to use. I actually didn't have a good paintbrush to use for this, so I'm using a makeup brush. So if you can't find a paintbrush, ask a grown-up if they have an old makeup brush that you can use. And I know it's hard to see the white Mod Podge on the white paper, but I'm not using a ton of glue, just enough that it'll stick with our leaves and flowers, and we can always come back and add more. All right, now for the fun part, let's add our leaves and flowers to the tops of our trunks. I'm gonna start with these bigger leaves. And I think I'm gonna layer them with some smaller ones on top. So as you're laying your leaves down, make sure that you're pressing pretty well so that they stick nice and good. All right, got a good base going. I'm going to use these pretty purple leaves. Make sure you're pressing down. And there also is no wrong way to do this part either. You can add whatever materials you like. It's gonna look awesome no matter what you add. You guys are doing a great job. I can't see your projects, but I know they are looking beautiful. All right, I think I'm gonna add one more layer of glue on top right here and a little bit more here so I can add even more materials because I have a lot left. And you know what? If you still have leaves and flowers left at the end, you can always just make another one. Something that's fun about this project is as spring gets warmer, that means there's going to be more and more flowers and plants popping up, that you could use for trees in the future. Even more colorful as time goes on. Okay, it's looking pretty good. There's a couple more materials I definitely want to add. You guys are doing great. Something else that's fun about these activities, especially these trees, when you're using natural materials, they're going to dry out a little bit as time goes on. So every day that you have this tree hanging up in your room, maybe, it's going to look a little bit different. It's going to dry out and maybe change colors a little bit. And that is just part of the activity. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I like how it looks. And now I just have to wait for it to dry. And there you have it. You just made your own nature tree. Thank you so much for making art with me today, and keep creating while you're at home.